Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center giving you a live severe weather update. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in play here for parts of Leon County until 3:45 this afternoon. Watching a downburst type signature within the Doppler radar algorithms there on the northwest side of Tallahassee. That's what's prompted this warning. Now, looking at some of the latest scans, not quite as apparent here, but these things can come and go. So we'll just have to watch here throughout the afternoon across the covered area. As I back this up, you can see what prompted the warning there, and when the warning was issued, you can kind of see how things weren't quite as bright, but still maybe getting that wind down to the surface there as we're looking, especially down toward Folk Drive there, Longview Drive. That's still a possibility, and that's why we're on the air here with you this afternoon. That severe weather potential in that isolated fasten still there with this action, with this severe thunderstorm warning. You never know, you could get it in a little bit broader area even than we're on focus. Really anywhere within the severe thunderstorm warning polygon. That's where the threat is at 2:53. Severe thunderstorm warning here was issued by the National Weather Service in Tallahassee, and that severe thunderstorm was located near Tallahassee Community College, so TCC there, moving east at about 10 miles an hour. Tallahassee, Macon Community Park, Levy Park there, Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, Orchard Pond, McClay State Gardens, Killearn Lakes, Tallahassee there, the airport area in there, and then you have Killearn Estates, Lake Ella, Lake Jackson, Tallahassee Mall, Bradfordville, Forest Meadows Park. So you kind of get the idea here of what's going on here this afternoon. Just trying to give you guys the latest information on this severe thunderstorm warning, trying to keep you guys abreast of the situation here, giving you the latest updates on exactly what's happening with the Doppler radar trend, things like that. As we have some other strong storms for watching. One here towards southern Georgia is where we have a significant weather advisory in play until 3:30. You see this here, parts of Baker County, Georgia, Mitchell County in here, even Miller County as well. A little bit of wind enhancement as we look here closer toward some of these roadways. I'll try to zoom in here to try to get some of them to pop up. So County Road 124 in here, and then we also have Lee County, Georgia as well, a significant weather advisory in play until about, it looks like 3:15. We're watching the storm near Leesburg in that general vicinity, still watching some of this action there. You see some heavier action there not far from Smithville, not as easily seen on velocity. Even looks like some developing wind enhancement here in northwestern parts of Colquitt County, so we'll watch for that as well. Northwest of Moultrie, this storm here just outside of the covered area just got a warning for parts of Dodge, Telfair, and Wilcox counties, moving south at 5 miles an hour, so it could move into parts of Ben Hill County. Another strong storm in our area already is affecting areas around Douglas there. That's a significant weather advisory at 3:45 there. An old significant weather advisory in play. Doesn't look like much with the other storm there, though off toward the south. That area is weakened on down, as you can see. Talking about an area north of Pearson there, but again, the warning we have that we jumped on for in our area is for parts here of Leon County. We also have some other action in southeastern Leon County, east of Woodville. We'll watch to see if that signature increases a little bit. Looks like a little bit of a downburst signature there. So even though these other areas aren't warned, they look pretty similar to what is warned here at this point. So that's what I'm kind of trying to convey here, try to make sure you guys know what's going on across the area with these pop-up storms. Really just coming on because of that population density, because if you have any downbursts here in a populated area, you'll have damage. I mean, more than likely as we look here. So looking northwest side of Tallahassee, and we're watching the radar echoes here. I know I had some warning yesterday, ended up not jumping on for those exclusively because didn't really see enough within those signatures on the Doppler radar. But Monday we ended up getting lucky there. We had a little bit of a drier stretch around here, and that's the pattern that we were kind of seeing within the model guidance. But we're seeing that increasing pattern now where we have that more moisture around. So we'll watch here with all that. Right now I'm not very impressed, honestly, with this storm here. Now I might be able to pop up some cameras in the area there around I-10. So let me go ahead and try to get those up here. It'll take me just a moment. We'll go to that Florida 511 perspective for everybody at home, so you kind of get an idea of what's going on here this afternoon. Just bear with me here. we're going to go ahead and do that and kind of give you guys an idea of exactly what is going on here in the general vicinity, at least with some of this accent. So I'm going to go ahead and look out there toward exit 199 there. Just was getting off on that exit on Monday, actually, but we'll go ahead and look here at some of this. You don't see too much on the camera shot right now. A little bit of rain trying to fall, but let me go ahead and pop this on up. You can kind of see here I-10 accent 199, that general area there, 198.7 the mile marker, but you can kind of see here just some rain around, nothing too exciting here in this shot right now. So that's some good news as we're looking toward these areas. But just checking the chat here. I know the Weather Service in Jacksonville talking about some slow-moving storms this afternoon with heavy rain being the main threat, but isolated strong storms could end up evolving with 40+ mile an hour gusts across southeast Georgia and shifting toward the Swanee River Valley as we look toward the evening. So we'll be watching for that. But right now you see a little bit of rain, nothing too impressive here in this part of Tallahassee though on the camera shot. So let me go ahead and move away from that. We'll go ahead and move back over toward the Doppler radar and see exactly what's going on. It looks like a weaker signature, so I expect this warning here. Let me go under to velocity. I expect this warning probably to get canceled here pretty soon. We are still seeing maybe wind to 40 further on up here with just some wind enhancement near Clippy's Drive, but not really seeing maybe that severe signature now. That's some good news. We're seeing some stronger winds here right about the time the warning was getting issued. I know it's destroyed tricky this time of year. We always talk about it. We just use that thunder indication when that roars. Just go ahead and go indoors. Don't wait for a warning or anything like that because that can still be dangerous. And that's just a good warning system if you're outside in this type of summertime setup. But I mean, we had winds here at 35 one way, 40 the other way. So that could have definitely been a downburst, had downburst type damage there. So let me go ahead and see if we have some power outage information to show you right now. Let me go ahead and see what's going on with some of these different numbers here. I'll pop up the Florida power outage map right now. You'll kind of get an idea of what's going on here as we look at some different scenarios here and in terms of what has gone on with the wind potential here, different areas being impacted. You see 1,456 customers in the dark. This is from a little bit earlier though, so it may not really include what we're seeing off toward Leon County yet. I'll interact with this, but not gonna maybe be too impressed here. Yeah, only 2 customers at that point. Things popped up quickly though, so we'll just have to continue to watch things here in the Weather Center this afternoon. So let me go ahead and move away from this though right now. We'll go ahead and pop back up the velocity mode of the Doppler radar. So right now we're seeing winds of 31 way, but maybe 15 the other, and that's not really a downburst signature, I wouldn't think at this point. So that's the good news. We are seeing some lightning develop on Thomasville. No advisory or warning there, but just a little bit of that electrical energy. So when thunder roars, of course, go indoors. And then we are seeing this done. This looks a little more mature now as we get here up toward parts of Baker County, Georgia. It might not be enough to come on for separately, but could end up getting a warning there. Some wind enhancement there in toward parts of Colquitt County, as we were alluding to. We're watching this move toward Ben Hill County here, out of South Georgia, out of Telfair County there, Wilcox County. You see some strong storm acts in there, Douglas as well. Really not maybe severe criteria meeting, but we'll just continue to watch things here with the Doppler. This probably right here looks about the strongest based on some of the different things we're looking at within the Doppler there. That's Baker County, Georgia, not Baker County, Florida. Now, I'll go ahead and go to the broad perspective real quick just to kind of see what's going on further off toward the east here. You can see temperatures warmer here, not as much moisture here right now in terms of that actually falling in the form of rainfall, not getting those storms around at this point, but the chances are going to be high in the coming days, as we alluded to here yesterday. I have 60% here today, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, so just kind of be aware of that. But yeah, this is even showing that storm there. That looks like the strongest updraft here right now, east of Colquitt, south of Milford, west of Camilla. We'll look at the hail track over the last little bit. You can see here, this is getting close to maybe needing a warning. It may not come back on for it, just for the simple fact, really, that it's in a less populated area, and because we're already talking about, we're already giving you that heads up here in the Weather Center. So that's something that we're watching though carefully as we look toward parts of that area in southwestern Georgia. The warning though that we came on for, the only warning in our area right now is for parts of Leon County though, and this goes until 3:45 here at 2:53. Severe thunderstorm is located near Tallahassee Community College there, or near Tallahassee, moving east at 10 miles an hour. And we'll look back at the hail track over the last little bit. You can see we even had that severe hail potential at first. This is why it's so tricky this time of year. Within a few minutes, I mean, within 5 minutes, maybe the warning being issued. Things are just already on the downtrend there within the Doppler radar algorithms. But sometimes you can get that burst of wind in that 5 to 10 minute range down toward the surface. So that's something you have to consider as well. And that's what we're considering here in the Weather Center. But right now, we're watching things. I know that storm not quite as impressive to the north there, west of Camilla on that latest scan of the Doppler radar, but we're continuing to watch everything for you here. We're going to go ahead and zoom back out. I know we're also watching the tropics here, and I'll just kind of mention this, the hurricane hunters out there this afternoon, keeping an eye on that system there in the western Gulf of Mexico. Could end up becoming something tropical before it impacts Texas here, maybe even a named storm. We'll see. Could just end up being a depression, but chances here are not really high, but in that medium range. So we'll watch here and just kind of see what happens. You can see maybe some type of impact there later tomorrow. It seems like based on this model guidance, maybe even a little bit later into toward early Friday as we get out there toward the Victoria area there on the Texas coast. That general area there just inland is where Victoria is. But you kind of get the idea. We're watching things there with some of our model guidance. That's what the D's indicate. So we're watching the tropics there. Have some other systems to watch as well as we're seeing down there. You can see we have our potential tropical cyclone, but that's not going to impact the U.S. Close to Venezuela there. We have another system we'll watch, but just kind of giving you a quick tropical update while we're on. But let's go ahead and jump back up to the north. I know there was even just an earthquake in South Carolina. They've been having quite a few up there lately in the Wardau region. It looked like it was in that 3 range there, but with that magnitude. But we'll continue to watch things as we look here with the Doppler radar technology. That's a high reading at Cecil, but that could be what they're seeing there. Cecil feels good and up all the way to 99. They're in an open area there, though. I know we're actually getting pretty warm here. Look at my thermometer behind me. That's why my voice is trailing off. And it looks like we're in the mid-90s here east of Stark. We're in a pretty open area, so looks like about 95 degrees here as I look behind me. So again, just continuing to watch here this afternoon, those Doppler radar trends, those temperature trends here. Let's pop up the surface-based CAPE information. Not maybe as extreme as we were seeing with some of the accent last week. We had purples, and the last Friday was a busy day. You see some purples up toward the Big Bend and some in South Georgia, but we're not seeing a lot of those. So a little bit lower surface-based CAPE values, but still some storms could go severe. We're not under any type of formal risk here from the Storm Prediction Center either. This is just a general thunderstorm outlook here from the office there in Norman. But we'll just continue to watch things. Obviously, there is a severe risk as we get toward other parts of the country. Here you see parts there, North and South Dakota and Minnesota under a slight risk of severe weather, even a small tornado risk there as we get up toward Fargo and some points northward, Grand Forks there under that. Not a huge threat, but something for those local viewers to watch there, of course. And we'll just continue to watch things as I go to that Florida view real quick. We'll see the Sunshine State here. I don't have the keys on here, but most of that state, talking about the peninsula here and the Panhandle, you can see not too much other areas here getting into storms really. You see it's just widely scattered accent at the moment. But we'll continue to watch everything within the Doppler radar. We'll continue to give you the latest updates, obviously, as we zoom back into the local area right now. We do have those warnings in Georgia I was alluding to. Now, 2 of them just north of our area. Peachtree City office recently issuing one here west of Americus, and this is nearly stationary near the community of Friendship or near Preston there. So we'll see if some of that drips down our way. If it's still severe, this is just that north of our area right now as well. Dodge, Telfair, and Wilcox counties So we'll watch that. You see some stronger acts, maybe north of Tifton there. The acts in their west and southwest of Camilla, not as impressed. That storm in Tallahassee there, not as impressive either. So that's some good news. But just remember, when thunder roars go indoors there, not seeing too much impressive signatures in the Doppler radar. I'll check again on that storm in Tallahassee to make sure I'm not missing anything. Well, we are starting to see something try to come back together again. So, well, I guess they did a good thing here, keeping this warning in play. This is something that's really tried to come back together here. This frame right there, latest frame just came out when I switched over, but right there, it's not showing many roads in this area. But it's showing a little bit of a downburst signature. That's 25 one way, 25 the others, maybe one's to 50 miles an hour in that general vicinity. So interesting to kind of see. This is the frame before, then all of a sudden next frame, and then kind of see it broaden back out again. So a little bit of a tricky situation here north of Interstate 10 in Leon County this afternoon as we track everything within the Doppler radar algorithms. Don't really have any cameras up here. You saw I-10 really wasn't getting too much. They're now giving us an update here in the chat session. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. They're saying a storm there. Jackson office is talking about a storm near Dodgertown, Georgia, could produce winds up to 50, kind of getting further on up there. This is kind of out of the Tallahassee radar range, and also we're looking there out of our covered area in Wayne County, but we'll continue to watch things there with the Doppler radar trends, obviously. The storm there, the wind enhancement, still kind of interesting on this mode anyway, toward Baker County, Georgia. You see some of that there, maybe down toward County Road 124 as we were alluding to there. That's kind of the back side, so maybe even a little bit over, closer toward, I'll try to get in here, some of these roads. Again, they don't always pop up on us because they're too small, but we're getting some stronger wind in here for sure as we get toward County Road 30, maybe at least 30, 40 miles an hour. And we get another signature now. This is in part of Leon County here as well, southeastern parts really of the county. You see maybe some downburst type signature developing your Tram Road. Now you see the greens, 28 miles an hour one way, 25 the other way. So that's close to 50, maybe even a little over 50 miles an hour trying to develop there now. So we are getting these downburst type signatures developed within the Doppler algorithms. So that's why we're watching. We're going to stay with it a little longer, stay with the coverage a little bit longer here because of what we're seeing, just to make sure we don't get a new warning here closer to Tallahassee or something else. Probably going to wrap it up soon if I don't get a new warning, but just want to stay with it a little longer since we got that little uptick there toward parts of Leon County. So watching everything for you here. Let me go ahead and see our ZDR product. Not seeing much upscale growth there. Let's look down here though. It may not be picking up very good on this because we're kind of close to the radar, but we're going to continue to watch here. You see a boundary there? Looks like we're kind of seeing some of that there within a Doppler radar there out of Polgus, Bainbridge, that little line there. Let me put my mouse on so in case you don't see what I'm talking about. I know sometimes these can act as triggers for development here, so we just have to kind of be watching that as we look at the Doppler radar here this afternoon. Just watching everything. I know if you're watching from Crawfordville right now, things are looking pretty good, but always this time of year, the pattern can still end up causing some more storms to develop. So we'll watch. You see some lightning around Perry there. In Taylor County, just remember when thunder roars, go indoors here. And we're not on the air. When we're not on the air, go to color.com/radar for the latest information here. When we don't deem the threat enough to actually come on, and then sometimes we'll post those radar images as well. If we're not coming on, we get a warning, we'll do that on Facebook, Casey Cloud WDX there, Cloud Weather, and then Twitter at Cloud Casey to keep you guys informed of exactly what's going on there with the storm. And I just give you that quick look at things, Roy, so you guys know what's going on to protect you, your friends, and your family. But again, watching things here within the Doppler radar, we just got new significant weather advisory for parts of Tift County now. This just came down over the last few moments here around Tifton. I can't see it very good on this mode of wind here. I know about oscillator, unfortunately, still down, but we're watching things here. Let me see. I'm going to pull up the Robbins radar real quick. It's not probably going to give us that great of a view, but at least a different view here on what's going on. You can see a little bit of wind enhancement there around Tifton. So That's something to watch there, right west of I-75. So we'll watch that. You see that storm there in Webster and then up toward parts of Marion County, Georgia. That's out of our covered area here, but we'll watch to see exactly how that tracks as well. I know that it does kind of get covered by Albany there, but Webster County, but then more in toward that Columbus television market as we look further on up there in toward west central Georgia. But let me go ahead and switch back to that broad perspective now. Again, just watching all those radar trends for you here this afternoon. We're at about 3:21 here on the clock. I've been with you about 21 minutes or so with this live stream on those different platforms that we've been talking about here with you. Let me see here, just checking some of our different parameters. I don't see too much. I know this time of year we just have to kind of watch to see the trends within the Doppler radar signatures. I'll pull up our satellite here as well. This is always kind of interesting. You see our development not as robust as what we were saying like last Friday, for instance. We're not seeing those colder cloud tops here around. We had those extreme temperatures. Those storms were fierce. We are, of course, watching the western Gulf of Mexico as well to see if we get something to develop. That actually looks like a pretty good signature there for maybe something trying to develop tropically. We'll have to watch. I know the hurricane hunters out there, and we'll just have to watch to see what type of pressures they find, what type of winds they find here, and if they have a closed circulation. So we'll just have to watch that here carefully. I mean, it's not that organized. It's not going to become anything too serious here, but maybe a weak tropical storm and even depression or not being classified. It could dump pretty good rain there. Maybe some rain that causes some flooding toward Texas. There's some parts of Texas where we need that rain. So we'll watch that there, of course, for you. But let's go ahead and go back into the local area again. We're at about 3:23 on the clock. Again, we're going to continue to watch everything here on these storms. Not seeing much in terms of rotation. Not seeing much in terms of maximum hail size there. Estimated hail size in our area anyway. And I'm going to get back to the Tallahassee reader there. Kind of give you guys that viewpoint on exactly what's going on with those wind signatures here in toward Leon County again with Tallahassee under this warning. We just didn't want to take any chances here. Not FSU. They're not involved with this warning here, but other areas to the north where we're seeing this. I'll even kind of say more of that here in a moment as we're with you here with the coverage this afternoon. I know you can see as we get in there. I'll take off the radar real quick. You can actually see the stadium. I'll mark it right down here. There, the campus not under this warning, but points northward are there, including apparently with that being labeled near Tallahassee Community College. Apparently they're under that warning here based on information we're seeing. But again, going to continue here with this for just a few more moments unless I get some new information in. You can see some greens and reds coming together here as we get to Rose Road, but right now I'm probably seeing maybe a signature of winds to 50 down there. Up here we do have the potential for 60 based on the warning, but right now I'm seeing more maybe up towards about 50 miles an hour, but that could still cause a little bit of power issues there, a little bit of power potentially being lost there to some customers. We'll just have to watch there for that. And then let me go on over to the power outage mapping one more time here. We'll go ahead and switch sources so you guys know exactly what we're talking about in that regard. And this is from 304. Still not seeing the numbers go up too much, but you just never know here. They could have gone up some, but that's some good news for the time being, but that's a little delayed. So we'll watch all the different trends here for you. I think I feel comfortable enough to go ahead and go on off at this point because I'm seeing some decay here with the storms. So that storm to the north there, north side Tallahassee there, closer even toward Bradfordville. Maybe not even as impressive as the one down to the south that's not warned, but even this one looks like it's under severe limits at this point. So we'll watch everything here for you. If we need to come back on, of course we will. We'll post things here as needed as well. But for now, I'm meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center. Thanks so much for trusting me to keep you, your friends, and your family safe and informed.